Good day and welcome to On the Bench. Today I'm going to tie you up a Lime Humpy. There's a great dry fly that's been around for a long time. It's tied for western rivers. I remember Jack Dennis had that in his Western Trout Flying Manual and also did some videos way back when. Well, I think one of the first videos I ever watched was Jack. And let's go over the materials we need to tie the fly. Here's a standard down eye dry fly hook, size 12. You go to 14s. This fly here I've tied with some very fine deer hair. It's got nice straight tips on it. You can see the tips line up. That's the hair you want to select. For that you want some brown hackle, dry fly saddle for the hackle at the front, and for the body I'm going to be using some lime antron for over top for the coloration. You can put red. There's all kinds of colors you can use on that as well. And you can also go to elk hair. A little tougher to work with, but make sure you got good straight tips on that. I'll use the deer hair on this one again. Okay, we'll get a hook in the vise and we'll get started here. Start our 6/0 brown thread on the shank. Go right to the bend. We'll get some pinch for the tail. Make sure we get our under fur out so it gets stacked well. If you have trouble with hair on you, like the static, just find yourself a bounce static sheet, or you can get the spray, the static guard, and it'll make handling your hair a lot simpler. Got the tips lined up nice, got the black tips coming there. Tied right here, I'll get a soft turn or two, and I'll start wrapping it forward. I'm just going to get some soft turns in here just to gather that up until I get to the front where I want it. Now I'll get some pressure on as I tie it down to the back here. I'm tying it down a lot tighter now. Now I'll cut these tips off the front. Make sure you don't cut your thread. And when I take my body to the front, I'm leaving quite a bit of space. Maybe not quite a third, but I've got to leave a lot of room up here for my wing. It's got a very short body on it, this fly. Now when I come in here for the tail, I'm going to take one turn in behind, get a soft turn, a couple soft turns in there, just kind of gathers your tail up a little better so it doesn't splay quite as much. And then we'll come in, we need some, this here just marginally long enough to use. I'll squeak by on this one. So we'll want to grab as much of the tail there. Again, get the under fur out. Drop that in our stacker. Tips are nice and straight. I'm going to measure right tips to the tip of the tail. My tie-in point's right here, about a third back, so that's where I've got my pinched off right now. I'm just going to move that back to the rear, where I pinched it, just so it marks my length of the hair, holding my hair to the top as I wrap down. I'm going to cut all these butts off. Doesn't look too pretty right now, but we'll dress her up here in a second with our antron. Wrap all these butts down good. There we go. And the antron is good. I like the Lime Humpy. It was probably my favorite color too. So there we go. We'll get our body. I'm just going to get a nice few turns of our lime here. Happy with that. Now this is also going to help stretch my shell back down when I got this hump where it stops. That's where I'm going to tie right ahead of that. Excuse me. Now I come in top with a turn, 3 turns here now. Hold that in tight. Now I can tighten it down. Remember, you go tight, tighter, and tightest. Remember Jack saying that in his video? Tight, tighter, and tightest. So we got lots of thread down. Now we're just going to divide our hair in the front. I'm going to exit, tie it in an X, split the hair, then I'll come around the far wing, take a couple turns, I'll set it up on the 45, come around on this side, my near wing, and do the same, set it up at a 45. Wild one right there, that's okay. Nature's not perfect. Got a little more hair on the one side there. I should have, it looks pretty close, not too bad. Sometimes we're our own worst critic. Then I'll tie the dull side forward on my dry fly hackle. You can use neck hackle here too if you don't have the saddle, go with the neck. Brown neck is good. I'm going to push my hair forward here a little bit till I get 3 turns at the back. Depends on your barb count. And then I'm going to do 2 or 3 at the front, make it the same. Tie it off the front. And pull that back. Get our little, where's my whip finish tool? You get hackle guards to kind of push that out of the way when you're tying that off as well. As long as the eye's clean, I'm okay with that, as long as I can get my tip through there. Not too worried about that. There it is, Lime Humpy, and that is a really, really good fly. Rides water, takes a lot of rough water, and very fishy. You can put a little cement over the top of that hump if you want. And there you go. So all the best to you with that one. And I would like to thank you for watching On the Bench. And if there's anything like you see or any recommendations, please reach out to us. Thanks for watching.